Hello and welcome to another episode of Tamika the podcast. I'm actually really excited today because I've got this whole setup. Hi if you're watching back on video. Hello if you're listening in with your earlobes. But this is the first time that I'm recording the podcast and also filming at the same time. Why? Because I'm doing a little experiment, you see. Obviously, I'm a social media manager. I'm always talking about repurposing content. And currently, when I record a podcast, I chop it up and I use sound bites and I turn them into reels. I pop them on my Instagram, on my Facebook, on my stories. And I also, put them out in my newsletter. So I thought that if I do a little recording, it's another way that people can, one, take in the content, because I know some people like to watch the recordings of the podcast and see the actual real life passion and things like that goes into it. I actually really do like watching podcasts. Or you can also just listen to it like normal on Spotify, how you do every fortnight. So we're going to give this a go. I'm going to chop it up. I'm going to see how it goes. If it flies, it flies. If it doesn't, well, at least I tried. I must say, to anyone out there who's thinking about starting a podcast, worrying that they don't have the right setup, or they're going to have to hire a studio or blah, 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 blah. This is totally rookie setup happening right here. I've literally got my mic on a little stand, just in the room, in my house, very fucking chill. The dogs are out there. Like always, I don't even edit. I just riff and I fucking roll. So there might be a dog barking. There might be someone that, knocks on the door. We're not going to answer it, but all the things. Bear with me as we dive in. All right, let's get to it. So today I want to talk about something dirty, starting with S. What do you think it is? Success, baby. That's what were you thinking? We are going to talk about success today, and specifically what success means to me. Is it a bit dirty to talk about success? I really would love to know what success means to you, and not just what just rolls off your tongue as in you've just, made it up as in that's what I meant to say. I meant to say success looks like $1 million in my bank account. Success means to me that I need to make 30K months every fucking month. Success, maybe you're working for someone and you're running your own business. Maybe success is I need to get into a management position in the next 2 years. Maybe success is I've got to get those bonuses because I really want to take my family to a holiday in Bali or whatever, right? Or I want you to think about going deeper to that and what actually, if you put your hand on your heart and you think, fuck, what does success look like to me? What is my success in my life, in my family's life, right? So I want to talk about this because I'm seeing it pop up a lot. And also this last month, so we're almost at the end of May, we are at the end of May, today's the last day of May, as I'm recording this podcast, and I know for a fact that this tail end of May and that the next month of June, in a monetary success score for me is going to be lower than what it has in previous months. Does that make me not successful? Well, in my eyes, no, it doesn't. Could that mean to someone else if they were to put their 2 cents in? Maybe. If you see your numbers go up and down over a quarter, do you beat yourself up about it? Or are you there's a rhyme and a reason? It's a learning experience. I deliberately have put it out there for the last quarter that I was not taking on any new 3-month projects until July because I'm running a masterclass in June. Also check it out on my grid if you haven't already signed up. I know lots of you have. Thanks, babes. And I'm going to be launching a course that kicks off in July. So for me, building my legacy meant that I had to go a little bit deep. I had to be a little bit more slow. I've had to sit back. I've been dealing with some internal stuff around that as well. So I needed to have a little bit of space. I'm talking space from just people, from onboarding, from just producing lots of content, just only producing content in really high intention and high alignment with me, and using my time to create and my energy that I have to create in building out this course that I want to put out there in a beta round for 1 month in July. And I know it's going to help women in business. I'm going to open it up to like 10 people only. It's going to be very, very highly personalized. It's going to be a high touch point round because it's going to be a beta round. And I know that I need to have my energy there, and I know that I want to create it so intentionally. So in turn, that means that I am not having as big a monetary months right now and for the next 4 weeks, because I am, directing my energy specifically in a different place that I know will actually, long term create more wealth, both monetary and legacy wise. And it will also introduce more people to like HLS and all the things. So for me, it's worth it. It's worth taking that dip to then, peaks and troughs. It's all cycles, business, personal, everything. It all goes round and round, right? And at the moment, I'm having a slower trough, but it's not a panic trough where I'm like, fuck, I'm not successful all of a sudden. No. So success to me right now, what does that mean? It means that I can fucking still do client work, take a day off and create a course at my own leisure. And I can also go to the gym and surround myself with people who are putting work into themselves. And I can be outside breathing in the fresh air and then hitting my desk at like, 10 a.m. and not beating myself up about it. It's the fact that I've made room in my business to, I'm a multifaceted human. I have so many things that I enjoy, that I want to learn, and I am allowed to explore that while I work, while I create for other people's businesses, while I get paid to help people with their business, to help them shine, to help them make more money. I get paid to do that, while I also get to be mentored in like astrology, a passion project that has now made its way into my business. Like how fucking cool is that? Like to me, that's success. Freedom of time, freedom of responsibility is success. Do I have 80K weeks? No. Do I put a screenshot up on my story saying, I've been lounging back and I just made 50K? No, I don't have those processes yet. And, to be honest, maybe I won't. I don't know. Obviously, we all want money, and it, makes the world turn, and that's how we get to, pay for those mentorships, and we get to, buy food and have a house, a roof over our head, and all that kind of stuff. So yes, money is important, but I don't define my success by whether or not I have month on month high revenue months. My success is deeper than the amount of money that comes into my bank. I've had some really cool one-on-one hour of powers in the last couple months, and when I like finish up and they're like, thank you, or like I feel like more clarity, I know how to step forward, like this is what I want, this is what I've been looking for. I had a new client that came on last May, I think it was, yeah, and she messaged me and she's like, I feel like I'm on the cusp of like big things. I feel like working with you, Tamika, is like having a business partner. And I was like, yes, that is what it's meant to feel like. I would not expect you to be paying me to look after your online platforms without you feeling fucking excited and relieved all at the same time, and have that energy and that knowing that there's going to be growth in this space because you've chosen that okay-ish is not really good enough. You want like fan-fucking-tastic. And I really respect that. So to me, that's success. like, that's success when people are like, thank you so much. You're literally changing my business. Sorry, I just got to take my coat off. You're literally changing my business. You're literally making my life easier for me. And the way that you are, helping my business means that I can make more money for my family. When they say shit like that to me, I'm like, to me, that's, tick. I'm successful. Whether I have $3,000 months, $10,000 months, or $30,000 months, right? But I wanted to go back, I think, to define really at your core level, what actually feels like success to you. I think you need to remember your true why of why you started your business and what you hope to achieve, but what impact you want to have on the people you're servicing. I think that success comes from okay, me as the business owner, this is what I want my life to look like, right? So that's part of what a successful business is, right? What is it giving you as the business owner? But the other part of success, I think, is, well, what is the point of my service? And I think that if you can get really clear on what the point of your service is, how you're going to serve the community, how you're going to serve your clients, how you're going to make a difference in the world, if you get really clear on that, and then you're also clear on what you want in your life and what success truly fucking means to you. Maybe it is that you've just always wanted to work a 3-day week and you've never had the opportunity to do that working for someone else. So you created a business that allows you to get just as much money, but you're only working 3 days a week. The 4th day, you just literally do your thing that you want to do. You want to clean your house, you want to cook for your kids, you want to do whatever. And on you want to take a long weekend in your camper trailer every 2 weeks, whatever. That might be why you started your business. And that might look like success to you. It might not be success to the girl next door, but it's success to you, and that's all that matters. And I just feel like we can beat ourselves up because, we see on Instagram, I'm making 100K months and I've only been in business 6 weeks. No, 6 months, that's a lie. But, whatever. And you're like, fuck, I'm not successful because my bank account doesn't look the same as her. And I just really wanted to bring it to the forefront of thinking about what success actually means to you and why it's important for you, and to really celebrate yourself as you feel you're reaching those successes. How will you measure if you've got a quote-unquote successful business? By knowing what it is, your dream life, what it is you want to be doing on your day-to-day routine and reaching that. And also looking at how you want to serve, how you want to make a difference in this lifetime, how you want to impact people. I think if you can check both those boxes, then perhaps you already are successful. It's funny because I think that I wanted to tell you a little story. I wrote it down and I was I don't know if I want to share. I do, but I think that's what podcasting is about, right? Telling the stories, getting the vulnerabilities out. Part of my success, and I touched on that, is that what success looks like to me is that I get to wake up every day and I have flexibility. I get to create when I want to create. I work for clients, yes, and they're amazing clients, and I get to create for them. I get to also bring my hobbies, my passions, and build out my brand through things that I actually just fucking light me up so much. And I get to be an artist. I get to create in all these magnificent ways. And it really, it really does make me smile that I've got to that point. And I was thinking about this in the shower. I was should I share on the podcast? I think I will. But yeah. So I worked out it was 23 years ago. This is kind of showing my age, actually. 23 years ago, a girl said to me something. And it's so weird. It's like, it's just, I don't know. It's like, it is, you know, like I was there yesterday. I remember the place. I remember who it was. Can't remember the exact wording, but like it was something along the lines of this, is that it had come up of like, you know, what do you want to be when you get out of school and all this in high school. And I had said like an artist. I wasn't sure exactly what that meant, like, you know, painting portraits or like whatever. But I said something to do with art, like an artist. And she wanted to be some kind of doctor. And she said to me, she's like, oh, and please, you know, excuse my ignorance. I really don't know a lot about cars and sports cars and all the things, but I think it was like a Ferrari or something. She said, I'm going to be a doctor and I'm going to drive past you in my Ferrari and you're going to just be like sitting on the side of the road with like no car. If you're an artist, like that's what's going to happen to you. And I was like, oh. And it was a moment of like, and there's probably other micro moments like leading up to this, but this was like the cherry on top moment, the one that really created the feeling that set this into my fucking subconscious of like, you can't be an artist and make money. You can't be an artist and be successful. Or in her view, you can't be an artist and have a car. But if you're like a doctor, you know, you get to be successful. You get to have the car and the money and you have a great life. And basically, if you're an artist, your life's going to be a shit house. Like, that's the feeling of what I had. And, you know, also, who are her parents? Like, school her to be better. I went to a high school that was, you know, they really encouraged sports. They were mad on sports and mad on super, you know, gifted kids, and also had a lot of families that had, you know, quite a lot of wealth as well. And I was none of those things. My family wasn't rich. I definitely wasn't particularly smart, just like average. And I don't like team sports. I like to just go do my own thing. And I'm not very sporty either. Like, anyway, so all the things, I wasn't any of those things. But, you know, this was like, I'm going back a while now. So this is like 2000 to 2005, where like, okay, so I think the only social media was MySpace. And for those of you who are too young to know what the fuck I'm talking about, like, bless you. For those that remember, I was like, MySpace was like a one-page profile. You had your top 8 friends, and you knew if you were like in the shit or not with like where you ranked on your friends' top 8. You had like a page dedicated to you with like a song that you could choose and like a background that you could choose, and you'd like change the song depending on your mood. It was all very like emo times. I think mine was like Avril Lavigne for like far way too long. Anyway, so things like social media managers, content creators, fucking copywriters, like I had no idea what any of this stuff was back then, and lots of those roles wouldn't have even existed as well, right? And like if you were, you know, I wanted to be a writer, obviously, like something artistic, something right, I was thinking like, okay, if I'm going to be a writer, I have to like write for the newspaper. That's what I used to think. I had to like write for the newspaper or write into magazines. And I used to write into magazines all the time. I'd never tell my friends, but like I'd write in, and one time I got published and I was so excited. I think my mum still has the clipping, bless her. Like they pay you like $200 because you send in a story. And yeah, so that was like the landscape of the time. And teachers were coming to us as well, like going, hey, like, what do you want to be? Like, what uni course do you want to get into? Like, and it was like literally like, okay, do you want to be like a bookkeeper, or, you know, a teacher? Or this is what I felt. I don't know if other people felt this, but this is what I felt. And I even did like graphic design, and I did art and all that kind of stuff. And the true art is like lessons were the ones that really lit me up. They're the ones I actually enjoyed. I actually always turned up to. I was actually like, I really want to be a part of this. The others were very much like, it was not a good time for me. And also, you know, teenage girl and pressures and all the things. My internal world was not amazing, and the way I viewed myself was not amazing. So when someone tells me that, like, if that's what you want to do and you want to end up like on the fucking gutter with like no house and no car and like poor, like, yeah, good choice. Like, how much does that feed into that negative talk? So it was something that I just kind of like pushed aside, I'd say. And, oh, sorry, we've got a bit of music going on in the background here. My apologies. But, like, I just remember that as kind of like a defining moment, because I thought, like, what the fuck? Like, that's all I want to be, and I can't be it and live a good life. Like, what do you mean? And so the reason I share that little story is, like, because it would be easy for me to carry on and, you know, still work in corporate, like, work as an operations assistant, like PA, marketing, blah, 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 blah. Because it's like the idea of being successful is like unattainable for me. The idea of like being successful, creating and having a flexible life, nah, that's not for me. That's only for like, I don't know, name a million excuses. It's only for like really rich people with rich parents. It's like only for people who, you know, have XYZ talents. It's only for these people that have an extra 30 hours in their week, you know, to create on the side or whatever. Like, thinking about all the people who said, you can't be an artist, or that's not a real job, or, oh, you're trying this now, are you? Right? Like, how many failed businesses have I been in? I've been in like two, sorry. And I wouldn't even say failed, really. I was thinking like hobbies and stuff as well. I've done so many things where I've just like sold stuff. It's not really a true business, but anyway, like proper businesses, probably two. I'd say two. And like, if every time I was like, nah, I can't do it, success is not for me. Success for me now is just like, you know, working 5 days a week and, you know, going on a holiday maybe once a year. And I got to go to the gym at like fucking 8 o'clock at night because it's the only time after working when my kids are in bed. You know, I can't watch Selling Sunset in the middle of the day on my lunch break. You know, right? Like, that's just not attainable for me. So my success is just like, you know, I'll get fish and chips Friday when the office has fish and chips Friday. Like, that's cool. If that's what success is for you, that's great. But if you've got that inner knowing, that inner niggle that you want to be successful and you want to define your own success by what is important to you at a soul level, like, you fucking can do it. And kicking that girl to the fucking curb, like, I hope she's enjoying her Ferrari. I don't want a Ferrari, even if I had enough money for a Ferrari. I'd rather take a authentic, soul-aligned business, me as a person, the people that surround me and support me, my family, the way that I get to express myself through all these different mediums without like any apology. I get to do whatever the fuck I want to do, basically. The fact I get to meet and work with some outstanding business owners, women that I may have never ever have met, right? Unless I created HLS. And to me, that is success. Building other people up, helping them in their business, helping them shine, helping them find their own success and define their own success. Like, so fucking important. And I'm going to, of course, just bring this quickly back to astrology because, and I think I might have mentioned this placement before on the pod, but nonetheless, we like to hear the same thing to really get it stuck in our old noggins. But I have Jupiter, which is the planet of expansion, and that is in my 5th house, and that is the house of creativity. So it's almost like against my soul's expression if I didn't lean into it. How I expand is by creating. And if I was sitting in my little bloody, it wasn't even a cubicle, but like box thing, you know, being my, you know, operations manager, doing all this stuff and not having enough time in my day to create because that's actually what fucking lights me up and actually is my success. What a shame. Like, what a shame that would be. What a waste of like having to turn down my idea of success because I was like maybe too scared to go for what I really wanted to. So I would love to invite you to think about what success looks like to you, really, like, hand on heart, what does success look like to me? Look, it can be monetary. I'm not saying it can't. Like, monetary goals are really important, obviously. Like, making sure you can eat and all that is important. But I'd really like you to look at why you created your business, or why you want to create your business. If you're in the trenches right now, why is this fucking important to you? And who do you want to serve? Who are the people you want to meet? Who are the lives you want to impact? Thinking about those. And I would also invite you to look at your natal chart and look up, where is your Jupiter placement? And Jupiter, obviously, as I said before, it really invites us to expand, but like, are you taking up that invitation, or are you watering it down? Because I have found through my personal experience that leaning into my Jupiter, creating every fucking day, is what has actually then led to my expansion as a fucking human, but as an expansion in my business. And to me, that is absolutely success. All right, guys, I better leave it there because we're way over 25 now. Thank you so much for tuning in. And yeah, if you're watching this, thank you so much. It's been a vibe. I think I like it. I'm not sure. Might do it a few more times and kind of get the flow. And if you're listening in your earlobes, I fucking appreciate you. Please take a screenshot, share it to your stories, tag me at Happy Little Socials. And if you even feel called to, DM me and let me know where you're at in your business and what you are defining as a success in your life right now and how you came to that point. I'm always open for a chat. And of course, if you love a natal chart reading, we can actually dive into where your Jupiter is, what it's helping you, what it can help you be invited into, and help along your kind of success track as well. So I would love to hear from you. DM me at Happy Little Socials. Until next time, mwah, I love you so much. Take care.